Hi, I'm Dr. Lenny Crystal, and I'm here to talk to you about that topic we all know as love, sex, and relationships. Can I think of anything more boring? Well, the reason I'm here is that way back in the day, I was fortunate enough to go to Cambridge University to do a doctorate in psychology, but the point of the matter is that thereafter I actually got a postdoc fellowship in the Department of Psychiatry at Oxford, where I specialized in the field of love, sex, and relationships. I was there for a couple of years, and that really ignited my interest in the field of relationship issues. And after going on into London to run a private practice in a clinic in the field and writing about the topic in various media outlets, I was approached by a world-leading psychologist, a man called Professor Hans Eysenck, who I believe after Sigmund Freud is still the most cited psychologist in the literature. And he said to me, Lenny, why don't we work together and create a Great British Sex Survey? I thought, well, interesting idea. Hans is the man that really, in terms of the popular vernacular, he brought to us the whole concept of extroversion, introversion. He developed an entirely credible battery of tests, personality tests, and personality really he felt was an important issue of sexuality. He was interested in doing research. I provided that platform with my expertise, and lo and behold, we combined our forces, and in the mid-90s we actually produced the very first massive commercial Great British Sex Survey. It was done by the Mirror group of newspapers, and the idea being that they would run the sex survey in the newspaper, cover it over a 4-week period. It became a major feature. I'm not going to go back into that era. Suffice it to say that it was a commercial success, and it ran as a publishing story for many, many months afterwards. Fast forward now to about 5 years ago when Yahoo in the UK approached me. They had a big singles operation online, and they had, for some reason or another, looked at some of the data we'd put out, and they said, Lenny, join us. Let's do a combined online massive Great British Sex Survey. And it wasn't too long until we did the second Great British Sex Survey. And it was really a fantastic success, created a lot of headlines in British newspapers at the time. And in fact, I'll cut to a clip in a moment of me talking about some of those very interesting findings. Well, in point of fact, have you ever heard of Britain's New Libertinas? I hadn't. My wife coined this term when she looked at all these results with me of the Great British Sex Survey, because clearly the coming force of women aged between about 19 to 24, they show a much greater self-confidence in expressing their sexual needs and their desires. And we saw all of this coming out of the comprehensive results of the Great British Sex Survey. I mean, the confident libertinas, as I now call them, are claiming sex as their very own. And they report very high levels of sex drive, sexual satisfaction. And in fact, I'd say that they're on a par, if not even surpassing and overtaking their male counterparts in many of their sexual activities and attitudes. The sex survey actually is scientifically based. It's got over 200 items to it. It looks at 10 or 11 or 12 different areas of your personality in bed, your sex drive issues, whether you have self-esteem, whether you're a giver, a taker, a risk taker, whether you're anxious. All these facets will be analyzed, and people that actually do the survey get a big takeaway, because essentially they can go online and they can download the individualized results, and they get quite a big sheet of printout telling them precisely what their scores mean and what it means for them and what they can do to try and improve whatever deficits they may have. The other idea is that they'll be able to compare themselves with their partners, and they can compare themselves with other people from their own particular demographic, and indeed across the world with other people who've answered the survey in similar ways. And I think that in itself is an educational facet very worthwhile. The people who do the survey will get a great deal of input and understanding and a betterment and upliftment of their knowledge in terms of their sexual practices, their sexual behavior, their sexual attitudes, and how they can effectively improve their love and romantic and sex lives. And I think that's one of the key elements to what we offer. And that technology has already been set up so that they can actually pay for their particular analyses if they wish, either in depth or more cursorily. And they'll be able to access these websites that we're going to be putting up to compare what they're doing with everybody else around the world.